Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is a huge night in the WSL as Spurs host Chelsea in a game that could swing the title race towards either Manchester City or Chelsea. For the home side Spurs, they come into this game after an FA Cup final heartbreak against Manchester United as they fell to a 4-0 defeat on Sunday. But in the league, these last two games have little on them as they cannot go any higher than 6th position and they can't go any lower than their current spot in the league table. Overall, for Spurs under new head coach Robert Villaham, who was brought in the summer, they have got 10 more points this season than they did in the entirety of last. And for Chelsea, they simply have to win these last two games of the season to have a chance to win their 5th WSL title in a row. It would allow Emma Hayes to leave with at least one trophy after a failed quadruple. A win for the Blues would put them into the first position in the table going into the final day on Sunday when they face the red side of Manchester at Old Trafford. Importantly, Chelsea have a better goal difference than Manchester City by just one goal, and that was helped by Chelsea's 8-0 win against Bristol City last time out 10 days ago. These two sides, though, have only met once this season, and that was on the opening weekend of the season where Chelsea won 2-1 at Stamford Bridge with goals from Mia Fishel and Lauren James. So, for a pivotal game in the title race, will Spurs pick up their first win against Chelsea, or can Emma Hayes' side put the title within their reach with 3 points? It is a huge night. Manchester City were hoping that Spurs lost yesterday in terms of the men's teams, as of course Spurs took on Manchester City for the men's side to take a big step closer towards their title. But now the roles have reversed. Manchester City are in dire need of Tottenham picking up a result tonight against Chelsea, who will be in, very high spirits now. Of course, you're always going to be in high spirits after an 8-0 win, but the fact that, of course, Manchester City lost last time out to Arsenal 2-1 at home, two very late Arsenal goals, has given Chelsea almost their hand back on the title. It was Manchester City's. Now after their defeat to Arsenal, it's back with Chelsea. They just need to win their next two games of the season and they will more than likely go on and win the WSL. Going into the last game, if they win tonight, depending on how much they win by, City can still win it, but it will all swing on goal difference. So there is a lot of permutations that can take place tonight that are within this game. It's a matter of fact of just seeing what the result is and then having a look at the table afterwards and, negotiating what could happen on Saturday. For Chelsea, they go to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Manchester City have to go to Aston Villa, which isn't an easy game. In fairness, Aston Villa haven't quite been up to what they can usually perform at this season, but it's still definitely a difficult place to go. But to really help out Manchester City, the blue side of Manchester need Tottenham to pick up a result. Unfortunately, though, these two sides have met 12 times since December 2018, since Spurs' promotion to the WSL. And it is 12 Chelsea wins. They have won every single game. The biggest win was in the first meeting between these two. Chelsea won 5-0 away back in December 2018. They've never drawn before, and like I say, they've won the other 12. Spurs not yet winning against Chelsea. Closest they came to a draw was a 1-0 defeat away from home in September 2019, but overall it's very much been complete and utter Chelsea domination in this fixture, in this derby. But Spurs will have a point to prove. They'll want to try and rebound after their really not humbling, but it was a very disappointing defeat at Wembley to Manchester United in the FA Cup final, a 4-0 loss. It's not great. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than that, but of course Manchester United stepped up to the plate and really showed why, Manchester United should be closer to, the top three in the WSL. Manchester United are currently 12 points off Arsenal, who are third. And we know Manchester United shouldn't be that far off the pace. They are a lot better than that. And they showed that on Sunday, beating Tottenham by 4-0. So Tottenham will definitely want to try and rebound and try and get some kind of positive result today. Obviously, even a draw would I think be a really big success tonight. But it is no wins in their last 4 for Tottenham. Their last win was in the FA Cup semi-final against Leicester just over a month ago now. So they are in a little bit of a dip of form at the moment, Spurs. That needs to change tonight if they want anything from this game. And like I say, they'll have the whole blue half of Manchester on their side tonight. That is for sure. It's going to be nervy though. Like I say, a win for Chelsea definitely puts it in their hands. A draw still means they're in it. Even a defeat, it would still go down to the last day. But it would make it, very difficult for Chelsea to do it. As both sides enter the field of play at Brisbane Road, which is the home of Spurs' women's side. It is the home of Leyton Orient, who are in League One. They finished 11th this season in League One after winning League Two last season. And we'll go through both sides now as we're just a couple of minutes away from kick-off. And for Spurs, it's a change in goal from the FA Cup final. Rebecca Spencer is out, so Barbora Votikova, the Czech Republic goalkeeper, comes in, brought in the summer from PSG. A back 4 of Ashley Neville. Alongside her on the right side of the centre-backs will be Amy James Turner, who's making her 50th appearance for the club. Alongside her is going to be Luana Bula, who was their first summer signing of the season from Hoffenheim. And at left back is Amanda Nielden. 2 holding midfielders of Drew Spence, once of Chelsea for some time. She was at the club for 14 years, scored 50 goals for Chelsea in 238 appearances. She'll play alongside Evelina Sumanen, the Finnish international, and it is her 26th birthday in a couple of weeks' time. 3 along the midfield attacking line-up. It is on the right is Celine Bizet. On the left is Jessica Naz. Through the middle, who they missed massively on Sunday in the FA Cup final, that is Grace Clinton, who is on loan from Manchester United, hence why she couldn't feature in that final on Sunday. And leading the line, another former Chelsea player, and that is Beth England, the Spurs captain, joined in January of 2023 for £250,000. She won 9 trophies at a time at Chelsea, and she was there for 7 years. But now she's Spurs, and she needs to be scoring tonight if Spurs want any sort of chance of, getting one of their highest top points tallies in WSL history, which will be a massive landmark for the club. And for Spurs, that starting 11 just means 3 changes from the FA Cup final, with Rebecca Spencer out, the goalkeeper, and Thomas and Vinberg dropping to the bench. For Chelsea, it is 3 changes from that starting 11 against Bristol City 10 days ago. It is Zachira Musovic in goal instead of Hannah Hampton. Back 4 of Ashley Lawrence, Millie Bright, Natalie Bjorn, and Niamh Charles. 2 older midfielders, Melanie Leupolz and Scottish international Erin Cuthbert. On the right is going to be Katerina Macario, who's brought in on free from Lyon in the summer. On the left is Gura Wrighton, who scored 4 goals in that 8-0 win 10 days ago against Bristol City. Through the middle, just behind the striker, will be Maika Hamano, who's now making her 3rd start of the season in the league. She started 2 home games against Bristol City and Aston Villa. And through the middle, scoring twice in her last 2 games now. She scored twice against Bristol City, then she scored twice in their 4-3 away defeat to Liverpool. It is Aggie Beaver-Jones, who has been called up to the senior England side. It's a great achievement for the 20-year-old. Chelsea's number 33. And tonight's referee will be Emily Heaslip. And her 2 assistants will be Natalie Aspinall and Grace Lowe, with the 4th official of Melissa Burgin. As it'll be Spurs to kick us off, kicking right to left, Chelsea left to right for a huge game in this WSL title race. Who will come out on top here at Brisbane Road? It won't be easy for Chelsea. The head-to-head, that certainly, puts the favouritism their way, as it is an early throw in a right-back position for Chelsea. Couldn't be quite kept in there by Jessica Naz. And it is Chelsea with the throw-in, as we are well underway here now at Brisbane Road, with Erin Cuthbert finding Ashley Lawrence from the throw-in, overhit touch, tackle by England, and then England just overhits the touch, and it's now back with Spurs, with England going down in the box this time. Fair tackle from Cuthbert. She clears up the field beyond the halfway line, can't quite reach Beaver-Jones, and it'll be dealt with here by number 4 for Tottenham Hotspur, and that is James Turner. And it's now over to the left centre-back of Luana Bula, the Swiss centre-half brought in from Hoffenheim in the summer. 28 years of age. She's making her 6th start now in a row in the WSL. 9 appearances now in a row altogether in all competitions. As it's Tottenham with the early spells of possession, but they give it away on the halfway line. Aggie Beaver-Jones in the centre circle, going out to the left back here of Niamh Charles, then midway side her own half with Natalie Bjorn. Switching it to the right, looking towards Hamano, whose touch just gets away from her. And it's now back with Tottenham on this near side with Nielden. Back it goes into the back four with Bula. And Tottenham regain it again, forward on halfway. It's to Clinton. Turning brilliantly away from Lupoltz and then sending the ball over the top, looking for England. It's dealt with though by Bjorn. Can't quite be taken off though by Naz. So it's Chelsea back with it, but given away by, I think that is Beaver-Jones, but then one back by Macario, midway inside the Spurs half. She gets away from Spence. Macario from 25 yards. She's going to hit the strike towards goal. Straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, Votikova, who's making her first appearance since mid-February. As she's in for the missing Rebecca Spencer. Tonight, Spurs play from the back, but it's a loose ball picked up on the far side by Erin Cuthbert, and it's now all the way back on the edge of the 18-yard box for Chelsea with Zicira Musovic, whose appearance in the last game against Bristol was her first since the 27th of March against Ajax in the Champions League, but she started 9 back-to-back games in goal, as it was Hannah Hampton who had got herself as number 1 in the Chelsea side around December time. But for these last couple of games, it's Musovic who's back in goal. And it's Chelsea with the ball here. Hamano in a right-back position, going to the edge of the area here to captain Millie Bright, who's missed a lot of this season with injury, but again, returning at a very key stage of the season as Musovic clears up towards the halfway line. Header away by Spurs. Can they find Naz? No, they can't. Cleared by Bright. In behind, it'll be chased down there by Wright, and she thought about it, but it was always going to go through to the Spurs goalkeeper of Votikova. And it's now Tottenham, the home side, on the ball with their right centre-half of Amy James Turner, making a 50th appearance for the club, now at the age of 32. As Nilden, the left-back, goes forward brilliantly. And it's now Sue Manning looking for the run of Naz through the middle, just drifting out to the left. She'll beat Lawrence to it in the box. Jessica Naz just gets stopped in her tracks there because the flag was up for offside. Definitely a decent start here for Spurs in the opening 3.5 minutes of this game. Looking for those big spaces in between the likes of Millie Bright and right back Ashley Lawrence. I think she was just offside there. Not too much in it. But I do think the assistant referee got that call right. As it's been a start that Spurs will definitely be happy with. Of course, they'll just want to get the weekend's FA Cup final result out of their minds as quickly as possible. As, like I say, big improvement from last season for Tottenham. 10 more points already compared to last season. They've lost 8 less games. That is a huge improvement under their new head coach, Robert Vilaham, the Swedish head coach. And they did give Chelsea a good game in that opening day of the season. At Stamford Bridge, that 2-1 defeat. As Chelsea are in the box, left-hand side right, and pulls it back. Aggie Beaver-Jones with the shot. Straight at the goalkeeper at the near post. But it's an opportunity for Chelsea. It found themselves in behind. 4.5 minutes in. Bjorn bringing it forward from the back. The January signing from Everton. Finding Wrighton in the box. And she cut it back there to Beaver-Jones, who took it on first time left-footed. But it's an easy catch in the end for the goalkeeper of Votikova, who formerly of PSG for 2 years, the 27-year-old goalkeeper. As we're back here in Chelsea possession, halfway line, on this near side with right-back Lawrence. Forward into the middle to Lupoltz, overruns it, and it's lost for Tottenham. But one back there by Hamano, who just overruns it out of play. And it'll be a throw-in for Tottenham. Just couldn't quite keep it in there. The Japanese attacking midfielder, Maika Hamano. Just 20 years of age. Turned 20 at the start of this month. As Chelsea have already won it back, and they're on the far side, halfway line here, with Niamh Charles bringing it forward, and she'll continue to battle away down that far side, getting away from Bizet and bringing in Wrighton back through for Charles. Can't quite return it to Wrighton, but it deflects back to Charles. It's now on the edge of the box. Macario delivers it in there, and it's a good header away there by Bula. Hermano for Chelsea, though, will get there, heads it towards the byline where she's kept it in, and she plays inside to the right back, Ashley Lawrence, and out to the halfway line to Bright. Well kept there by Hermano, because she was being out-muscled quite dominantly there by Beth England, but she was just able to get around her in the end. As down the left-hand side, Macario's found a little bit of room here in the final third. One-on-one with Sue Manning, wanting to get onto her right foot. She'll backheel it through instead here. Brilliant chance. Cross goes into the far post. It's just too overhit there for Aggie Beaver-Jones, but it'll be kept alive by the right-back Lawrence. Twisting and turning, going inside to Hermano, just outside the box on the right-hand side. Just restarts, goes back here to Millie Bright. And then across to a central defensive partner of Natalie Bjorn. It's now number 4, Millie Bright again, who started the last 3 games now in the WSL, returning from her injury, which kept her out for so long of the season. As it'll be a Tottenham throw in here, just not been able to have been kept in on this near side by Hermano. About midway inside the Tottenham half, it is a throw in for the home side, who've won 3 of their 9 fixtures here this season. Won 2 of the last 5 against Leicester and Arsenal, both keeping clean sheets. As England's touch is poor and it gives it away to Luke Poulton. It's immediately back to Chelsea. That's one thing that Tottenham can't afford to do tonight. Just immediately give possession back to this Chelsea side, because they are so persistent. They'll just keep going. They won't stop attacking you and playing it around you and just making it really hard. You know, it shows exactly what they're about with that 8-0 win against Bristol. You know, they knew goal difference was going to be a big part of the season, so they just did not stop scoring. As in the final third, left-hand side, Neves Charles crosses, a brilliant ball in, header over by Bula, only fires Hermano, who strikes it, does it come off a hand? Referee waves it away, and it falls here to Clinton, who's going to go long and in behind for Naz, who does have pace, but Bjorn will get there first in the Chelsea half. And that's a big call from the referee to not give a penalty kick there. I have to see it again. It was Hermano towards the far post with the shot. Definitely went towards an arm. That is for sure. But the referee said no. As it's Chelsea on the halfway line. Cuthbert finding Hermano. To her left now to Macario. Laying it off for Leupold. And then spraying it to the left there to Neves Charles. She's got Wrighton in front of her and she finds Guro Wrighton in the final third. Lifts it into the box to Macario. She's got a back to goal. She has got Charles in support. Macario tries to turn and cross. She does just that, and the cross to the near post is well dealt with by the goalkeeper. Thank you to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. Huge game in the WSL tonight. As we've seen here, Hermano shot 10 yards out. That did come off a hand. It certainly came off a hand. I think it came off Bula, the Swiss centre-back. It deflected off Nielden, the left back, and then onto the hand of Bula. Her arm is out away from her body, not by a huge amount, maybe by, I don't know, maybe just a yard away from her body. But I think it would have been harsh with the fact it deflected first. If obviously it took no deflection, it wouldn't have even gone near Bula. But the fact it took a slight nick off the Spurs left back and then onto her hand, it's difficult for her to move. It's not exactly like it was out, you know, she's not waving to anyone or, you know, putting her arm out for someone to hold it. It was rather close. I think that would have been harsh with the deflection, personally, as it is a Spurs throw in here in the left back position. There's a ball out wide right, couldn't be kept in there by Hermano for Chelsea. It's now going to be taken by the Spurs left back of Amanda Nielden, brought in on loan from Juventus in January. Stockholm-born left back, 25 years of age now. Won the Serie A title with Juventus 2 seasons ago. As England is fouled there by Hermano, about 10 yards away from the halfway line. And Beth England just seems to be holding her head here. The Tottenham captain, who's got 20 goals for Spurs in 33 appearances since she joined in January of 2023. She's missed quite a bit of the season, Beth England. She's been a bit hit and miss with availability, and all 4 of her WSL goals this season have all come in the last 4 games, all in a row, 1 in each. So she started hitting the mark when it's most needed. Towards the end of the season, Spurs want to try and finish as high as possible. As England, midway side, the Chelsea half, slips it through to the left to Naz. Flag stays down. No, it doesn't. Flag goes up again. As she entered the byline, that was a good opportunity to get across and an opportunity to shoot. But again, Jessica Naz just going a little bit early Tottenham's number 7, 5'5" winger, but he looks like she's playing a bit more through the middle here, trying and really make use of a pace that she's got, the 23-year-old. She's making her 100th Tottenham appearance tonight, Jessica Naz, someone who joined back in 2018 when she was at the club from age 12 to 15. But yeah, they were showing that handball again. I'm a little bit on the fence with that. I can see why they want it, but again, that deflection off Neildon onto the hand, it's a little bit... It would have been a bit harsh for me as the throw-in headed away by Lawrence towards the halfway line where it's come off the top of the head of Cuthbert. It's bounced out for another Tottenham throw-in on this near side, just past the halfway line. As there is Emma Hayes, sat next to her assistant of Denise Reddy, and also Stuart Searle. Stuart Searle is the assistant. He was also on the touchline there as Chelsea broke away here. Aggie Beaver-Jones slipping on the edge of the area, and it gives it away. And Tottenham clear it with their goalkeeper Votikova towards Ashley Lawrence, who heads it out of play. Tottenham throwing midway inside their own half there. They're just showing a picture of Emma Hayes on the bench, and then all of a sudden Aggie Beaver-Jones was racing away with the ball towards goal. As the left back Neildon throws it here, and it's a bundled foul there. Cuthbert just going into the back of Clinton, winning a free kick, and Tottenham take it quickly. So the right back Neville going forward, but it goes away from Bizet. Poor pass from Neville, and Wrighton's been sent away by Charles in the final third. Neville's getting back. She's getting tight to Wrighton, and she gets past her. Brilliant skill from Wrighton towards the byline. Pulls it back, but no one's there. And Beth England on the edge of the box clears it for Tottenham. Not near anyone in a white shirt, though, so it will be straight back with Chelsea on halfway with Bjorn. But I thought there Ashley Neville was getting a bit too close there to Wrighton, and she was. Went past her like she wasn't even there. As Leupolt's ball can't quite reach Wrighton midway inside the Tottenham half. It rolls all the way through into the 18-yard box to the goalkeeper of Votikova. And it's now number 24 for Tottenham on the edge of the box, Drew Spence, the Jamaican midfielder, who joined Tottenham from Chelsea. Spent 14 years of her career at Chelsea, winning 5 WSL titles. Let's see, she has the ball towards this near side. Just inside her own half, still here, Spence. Finding a ball inside to Sumanen, and then back it goes to Bula. It's now into the centre midfield here. Clinton, out wide right to Neville. It's a short pass, though, picked up by Charles, who can get away with the ball down the left-hand side. She's got loads of space to run into, and into the box she goes. Neville's trying to recover. Charles crosses. Hermano with the header, and it's just over the bar. 6 yards out. It's a big chance. Not known for her heading, Hermano. But she got down low there. Bit of a diving header to steer it towards goal. Well won on the halfway line there by Charles. And as soon as she got that ball, she was away. And it's not a bad ball towards the far post. Could maybe have Hermano gone for the volley? Maybe right-footed, or is it a bit too high? Let's have a look. I don't know. Probably a bit too high for a volley. She probably would have to have jumped and volleyed, but she went for the header instead and just couldn't direct it on target, because if it was on target, the goalkeeper would have struggled with that one, I think. Spence heads it out wide left for Spurs. Can't be kept in by England. Throwing on this near side for Chelsea, right in front of the Chelsea technical area, where Emma Hayes is standing, watching her team here, as this is Emma Hayes' 210th game in charge of a WSL fixture for Chelsea. Looking for win 148 if possible. As it's on the edge of the Chelsea box here with Bjorn, the centre half, going back into the 18-yard box to Musovic for Chelsea in an all-yellow kit tonight. The Swedish goalkeeper. It's Hermano, 1-2 with Lawrence. Doesn't quite come off there. Tackle by England. Headed forward by Spence, but straight to Hermano, who on the halfway line runs into Spence. And it's given away. Sumanen forward to Naz. Run being made to the right here. Can Naz find the pass? She goes on her own instead with a shot. That is greedy. That's really poor from Jessica Naz. And run was being made ahead of her by Sumanen. And she decided to go on her own, and that's not great for Jessica Naz, who does that in front of the England manager, Serena Wiegman, who's in attendance tonight. She's given Aggie Beaver-Jones a call up this week, but Jessica Naz still involved in the England under-23s. Just panicking there. I don't know why she's not played that ball through, because Sumanen was away on the right-hand side. As Tottenham have the ball on the far side, cleared by Cuthbert, controlled by Beaver Jones, keeps it away from Sumanen and brings in Hamano in a central area. Out-muscling Spence and going back to Aggie Beaver Jones, who goes back once more to Millie Bright in the centre circle. Forward to Lupot around the corner towards Hamano. It's a bit misplaced. It'll drop here for Tottenham. Then Nielden, who is facing her own goal here. Goes to Bula, who clears it with a left foot down the line. Can't quite find Clinton. Dealt with by Bright. Lawrence. Lupoltz forward to Cuthbert down this right flank. Finds Hamano. Has to return the ball back here to Bright. Hamano again. Facing her own goal and getting it out of her feet. It's a short pass. Musovic has come all the way and she clears it up the field. It's a risky pass that by Hamano, but Musovic was ready. You know, that was beyond the midway point of the Chelsea half there. She was well out of a goal to help her side because Hamano could not get that left-footed pass back in time. Just got stuck under her feet slightly. And it's Tottenham with the ball near side. Nielden, first time ball down the line, can't keep it in touch. Out of play for a Chelsea throwing in their own half. But it was just so well won back there by Spence on halfway through to Sumanen, who then found Naz. And it was actually Bizet, the right winger, who was making the run. And she wasn't asking for it. She wanted the pass, but Naz just decided against it. It's a big switch out through to the left. Finds Wrighton in the box. Angles tight. Goes for the early cross. Deflected away by James Turner. And it's now with Spence lifting it through here to Clinton. Touch isn't great. Gives it away to Lupot. It's now Cuthbert, 25 yards out. She's going to go for the shot. It's spilt by the goalkeeper, but she'll get back onto it within the 6-yard box. And they have had a couple of shots on target now, Chelsea, in the opening 17.5 minutes, but none of them properly testing the goalkeeper, I'd say. They've all been pretty close towards the Tottenham number one. Spent 7 years of her early career. Votikova at Slavia Prague, winning 4 league titles there as a kick goes beyond the halfway line, but dealt with by Bright. Forward to Macario, to the left now to Wrighton, through for Beaver Jones in the box, keeps it away from Bula. Beaver Jones has it. She has a back to goal, shielding it well. Try to turn down the line, but tackled by Bula and kicked out for a Chelsea throw-in. In the final third, they really do need the likes of Hamano and Beaver Jones to step up tonight, Chelsea, because they do have Kirby on the bench, James as well, Carnrad, Newskin. Some real attacking threats on the bench, Chelsea. They do need a goal come the latter stages of the game. Chelsea have it on halfway here with Bjorn. Forward down the left side to Wrighton. On once more now to Charles. Loves getting forward from fullback. Lays it here into Macario. Through for Wrighton, who takes on the turn and gets the shot off, but she rushes it. Left-footed, it flies over the bar. I'm not quite sure why she took that on so early there, Guru Wrighton. She had a lot of opportunity to run closer to goal, but she just hurried it a lot. She found a really nice pocket of space in the box. She was well found by Macario, but that gap between the right back Neville and the right centre back of James Turner was just too big. I'm not sure if a midfielder's meant to sit in that meant to sit in that gap, but that was huge, and Wrighton found the space, but really rushed it, which is surprising because, like I say, she's coming into this game after scoring 4 goals in the last against Bristol City. So we're going to get the goal kick taken. Out to the Tottenham left. It's dealt with by Bright. Thighs it down for Hamano. Then a ball to Lupot. Forward to Beaver Jones. About 25 yards out. Turn. Tries to play out to the right, but tackled by Bula. It's now Beth England in the left wing position. Back to Nielden. Takes on one player. And a second. And plays it through here for Clinton. Midway side of her own half here. She switches it to the right to Neville, who takes it beyond the halfway line for Tottenham. She's got Bizet in front of her. Other than that, not much going on. She finds Bizet, who will play it inside to Sumanen, but the pass was risky. Poked away from her there by Macario. It's now Chelsea back in possession in the 18-yard box with their goalkeeper of Musovic, who is labelled to be excellent with ball at her feet. So they do definitely have 2 really good ball-playing goalkeepers, Chelsea, because Hannah Hampton, who's on the bench tonight for Chelsea, is also brilliant with her feet. That's on the halfway line. Lupoltz brings it forward. Out to the left it goes now to Charles. They've got a player over here. Neville doesn't know whether to go or stay. Slips it through. Wrighton lifts it over the goalie, but cleared off the line by James Turner. Back to Wrighton. His ball low is dealt with by Sumanen. Clearly as far as Cuthbert on that far side. He will recycle the ball back into the box, but it's a header away there by Bula. Falls to Bizet for Tottenham. Out to the left to Naz. Very isolated on this left-hand side, but she'll run forward with it, Naz. Holding it up, looking to go backwards, but again, no one's really up there with her. She'll eventually find the pass to Nielden, the left-back. And then back into her own half there to Bula. They need to sort that overload out on the right-hand side of Tottenham's defence because Ashley Neville keeps being left on a 2v1 with Wrighton and Charles running at her. And like that time, she didn't know whether to go or to stay. And instead, she kind of did a bit of both and it just got slipped through her. And Wrighton nearly scored. Good clearance off the line by Amy James-Turner. As Tottenham still have it. Edge of their 18-yard box here with the centre-half James-Turner. Forward to Bizet. Then out to the right back of Neville. It's now James-Turner again. And Sue Manning. That's telling the Tottenham defence just to relax now with the ball. There's Chelsea just sitting off at the moment. Just catching their breath. Having a moment just to rest within the game. As for Chelsea, they have won 6 of their 9 games on the road this season, winning 4 of the last 5, losing twice to Liverpool 4-3 very recently at the start of the month, and then Arsenal in mid-December. The ball out to the left there, controlled by Nielden, now on the halfway line with Spence. Forward by Clinton, who spins away from Leupold. Clinton, edge of the box, goes for the strike, but completely slices it. Doesn't catch it, goes a good 10 yards wide of that post. She's definitely hit better than that Grace Clinton, who's been an unbelievable signing for Spurs on loan this season. She scored 4 goals in the WSL. Her last set of goals were a brace in a 4-3 win away at West Ham in the middle of January. She hasn't scored in the league for a while. And of course, she had to miss the FA Cup final due to the fact that her parent club, Manchester United, were the other team in that final. Chelsea, with this point at the moment, they are 2 points off Manchester City. Wrighton nearly gave them the lead there, lifting it over the goalkeeper, but James-Turner with a brilliant block off the line. Those Chelsea supporters behind the goal thought it may have been in. I'll update you. Yeah, thank you very much. Kick-off 7:45, that one, isn't it? As Tottenham have it towards Spence, just put through her legs by Cuthbert, who stuck her foot out. Hamano forward to Beaver Jones, who's caught late by Bula. And that'll be a free kick for Chelsea in a rather central area, maybe just towards the right side of the pitch. It looks to be about 30, 35 yards out. Just a late one there. Beaver Jones beat her to the ball. It takes some strike to beat Votikova from here. She's 5'10", so one of the taller goalkeepers that we have in the women's game. It's about 30 yards out. It's a 3-player wall here for Spurs. Macario with the right foot and Wrighton with the left. It'll be an in-swinger if Wrighton decides to curl this cross in. She lines up rather straight here, Wrighton. Macario will be the one to cross. It's an outswinger and it goes all the way through and behind for a goal kick. Not a best delivery by the number 9, Katerina Macario, who was signed by Chelsea in the summer whilst she was still recovering from an ACL injury. She was out for 21 months with an ACL injury, Macario, from June 2022 to March 2024. And she did score on her Chelsea debut against Leicester 6 minutes into that debut. But she's got more than football to her name. Katerina Macario, the American international. She also graduated from Stanford University in 2021 with a psychology degree. So not just the football that she's well equipped for, also the psychological parts of football as well. As Chelsea are on the ball, 25 minutes to played. Macario takes on the half turn in the central area. Can't get away from. She can get away from Spence. That's brilliant football. And out to the left it goes here to Niamh Charles. Back inside to Macario. Goes to the right centre half here of Millie Bright in the centre circle. And she is also back in the England setup. Millie Bright, after a layoff with injury this season. She, of course, captained the England side to the World Cup final in last summer's World Cup. where unfortunately they were defeated by Spain in the final, 0-0. Still with Millie Bright here on the ball. It's a big switch out to the left. Will it work? Bizet wins the header. Volleyed away in the box by Neville, but it's not very convincing. Straight to Macario. Forward to Wrighton. Through for Charles. Wrighton was clipped. And it'll be pulled back for the free kick. Just on the edge of the box. Niamh Charles was running into a bit of a dead end there. And she's being followed by Bizet towards the corner flag. So the referee's pulled it back. Wrighton fouled late this time by Neville. Like I say, went to get the ball, but the ball had already gone. And she took out the Norwegian winger after the ball had gone. Can they do better from this free kick this time around? Macario's last one was wildly overhit and went straight out for a goal kick. More of a shooting opportunity though, really. About 22 yards out towards the left side of the box, so it's not the usual angle. It looks like Macario's got a cut to the face here. That looks quite... That's a real scratch on a cheek. I don't think the referee's seen it. We'll have to get a close-up on that. As it's Wrighton to deliver. It's a great ball with the left foot. Dealt with there by England for Spurs. And Jessica Naz in the right-back position will be fouled as she clears. And that'll be a free kick. That is an inviting ball, that by Wrighton. Yeah, Macario with a real cut on her face. That's got to be a stinger. I'm sure she'll have to get that sorted. It's not exactly bleeding out, but you can see the blood. Let's have a look where that came from. Show this cross first. Wrighton went in there, right just towards the 8 yard, just about 8 yards out towards Beaver Jones. Really well won header by England. As from the free kick before, the one that Macario put in, there was a pull of the shirt by Clinton on a Chelsea player. Again, I don't think there's enough in that for me for a penalty, but you've got to be careful pulling the shirt these days. As Tottenham are playing in the centre circle, Clinton forward to Spence, laying it off to Clinton, out to the left now to Nilden. Tried to take on Hermano, couldn't quite do so. Last touch off the Swedish fullback. And it'll be a throw for Chelsea. Well defended there by Hermano, who's gone a bit quiet last 10 minutes or so. Japanese attacker. Ashley Lawrence, the fullback, clears it forward towards Beaver Jones, takes it away from Bula and then lifts it to Cuthbert. That's what you want from your striker. Linking up the play. Cuthbert out to the left to Wrighton. Charles is overlapping. Wrighton pulls it across instead to Cuthbert on the edge of the box, but tackled by James Turner. Not very well dealt with though. Clearance was pretty poor. It's now back on the halfway line with Millie Bright for Chelsea, who were so close to a 5th WSL title in a row. It's been a real slog of a season, really, for Chelsea, who've only won 3 of their last 8 in all competitions, including 4 defeats. Like I say, 4 of their 6 defeats this season have come in the last 8 games, which is not what you usually see from a Chelsea side who've tried to put the ball over the top there for Beaver Jones, can't quite latch onto it, goal kick Tottenham. You know, it was a quadruple that was on for them, but they lost the Conti Cup final to Arsenal. And then knocked out of the FA Cup semi-final by Manchester United. And then knocked out at the semi-final stage of the Champions League by Barcelona in what was a very frustrating day overall for Emma Hayes in that second leg. As Chelsea have won in the final third. Brilliant work by Leupold. Crosses left-footed towards Beaver Jones. Can't head it towards goal. Goes across the box here. And it's now with Beth England in the left-back position. Down the line. She finds Nilden. Goes forward to Naz. Lays it off for Clinton. Trying to go backwards here, Clinton. But she'll turn forward instead to get away from Hermano. And then Clinton turning again to go back. And then running into traffic of Cuthbert. Slips it through for Beaver Jones. Just gets away from her for now. Alive in the box. They need to get rid of Tottenham. And the goalkeeper comes to collect. A little bit scrappy in the box. But it was dealt with in the end there by the goalkeeper. Clinton just trying to turn forward, then try to turn back, and then going into traffic of Cuthbert, who just is a never-ending source of energy in that Chelsea midfield. It's like she's always running in the right way, not like running around like a headless chicken. Her running is very smart. She only presses balls that she knows that she could probably win back. As we're over half an hour in here, still goalless, but Chelsea have definitely been the better side, and they've had decent amount of shots on goal. Tottenham haven't really done a lot going forward, if we're going to be honest, in the opening half an hour of this game. As they're not quite getting Clinton on the ball in the best areas. They're finding they're quite deep as England tries to go down the line there towards Neildon. Comes off her own head there, I think. And is that going to be a throw? No, it's come off Lawrence. I thought that came off the Tottenham left back. Do apologise. Throwing for Tottenham in the final third here with Neildon. Throws it to England, returns it to Neildon. Tries to get it back to England, but comes off Hermano. So another throw in the same position for Tottenham. Thrown down the line towards the corner flag to England. Now Neildon again. Last touch off Hermano. It's another throw for Tottenham, as they want to try and get this ball in the box if they can. Actually try and put some pressure on this Chelsea defence. Thrown to the edge of the area here to Naz. Keeps it away from Macario. Oh, she can't keep it away from Macario. Good challenge that. Just putting a foot in. Because it was behind her. I thought if she was going to put a foot in, she wouldn't have been able to have got it. But just nice little kick away. There's a clearance out from the Chelsea goalkeeper. Has been headed out of play by the Tottenham captain of Beth England. It's now back in Chelsea possession. The possession was quite close the last time these two sides met at the start of the season. Chelsea had 56% of the possession. Tottenham had 44%, which isn't bad in fairness at Stamford Bridge. It's a decent amount of the ball to keep. This time around it is Chelsea with 60% of the possession. So far, there's Millie Bright. Takes it off Jessica Naz and goes back to the goalkeeper of Musovic. 27 years of age, the goalkeeper. Goes long this time. Down the centre of the pitch, flicked on by Beaver Jones, but no one there running to it. It's an easy collection of the ball there for James Turner. Nailed in the left back forward to Clinton on halfway. Has to go backwards because Cuthbert was on a case again. Didn't want to be pickpocketed by the Scottish midfielder. There, Grace Clinton. There's Booler, the left centre-back, into Clinton. Again, just dropping deep for the ball here on this near side. She does use her body very well, Grace Clinton, to manipulate the ball and keep it away from players. As James Turner, big switch out to the left, headed away by Ashley Lawrence. Drop here for Clinton. Lift it over Hermano. Oh, it's a great back heel there by Neildon to England, but England can't find Spence. Tackled by Lou Poltz, but she's tackled by Neildon. Then Spence can't find the ball inside to Bizet. Pretty poor in the end, and Niamh Charles can pick it up here. For Chelsea, it's to this near side to Hermano. Back to the right back of Ashley Lawrence. It's now with the goalkeeper of Musovic. He brings it out of the 18-yard box. Keeps it simple to Millie Bright. At right centre-back. 30 years of age now, Millie Bright. Joined in 2014 from Doncaster. Now captain in the side tonight, as they're looking to win a 5th WSL title in a row. As we're still in the Chelsea half here with Bjorn. First time pass to the left to Niamh Charles. Wrighton's in front of her. Macario's just inside to her right. She'll go down the line to Wrighton. Macario, so much space on the edge of the box. It's scary. And in the box she enters. She shoots towards goal. It stings the hands of the goalkeeper. Still alive by Wrighton, who's tackled by Ashley Neville. And it can be cleared forward here to Bizet. Shows too much of the ball to Macario. And it's one back hit for Chelsea in the final third, where Cuthbert just has to go back to Bjorn. Another big chance. They're struggling to pick up all the players here, Tottenham. When Chelsea attack, there seems to be always one free in loads of space. It's on that far side. It's Katerina Macario going to the centre circle here to Millie Bright. Now to the right to Lawrence. Now into the middle of the park with Cuthbert. Bjorn into Macario. Just drifted to this left-hand side on her right foot. She's giving time to cross it if she wants to. She keeps it simple instead, going to Millie Bright. 10 minutes left of this first half. It's still goalless at Brisbane Road. Wrighton on the left wing position. 1-2 with Charles. Here is the left back Charles, crossing low into the box, cleared by Sue Mannon. They'll be throwing in the final third here for Chelsea. Not quite the right cross there by Niamh Charles, who scored in that last game against Bristol City. It was her first goal since Aston Villa in the WSL, which was back in November. Bit of a comparison as well for Niamh Charles, because she was sent off in the first fixture against Bristol, but then she scored in the last one. Throw-in taken to Macario. Lays it off here for Charles. Wants to get onto a stronger right foot, facing away from goal. Being tackled by Bizet. That'll be a throw-in again for Chelsea. Throwing down the line. Played inside by Wrighton. Needs to be cleared by Clinton. Up in the air it goes, then headed away by Spence. Be chased down by Cuthbert, who hooks it into the air, into the box, where Beaver Jones heads it down. Neville sliced as a clearance straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Vortikova. And the Spurs, who've dealt with another Chelsea attack. Definitely missing the likes of a Lauren James, Chelsea, or even a Ritting Carnrid. Hamano on the right wing, just not offering enough at the moment. It's Spence on the halfway line. Loses out to Leupolz, but I think as she took that original touch, it just came off the hand of Bjorn. So it will be a Tottenham free kick on halfway here. Let's have a look. Wrighton played it inside. Clinton kicked it forward. It came off the hand there of Sumanin, but her hand was up against the stomach, so that was never going to be a penalty, that one. The Spurs trying to tap down the left, but Clinton goes across into the centre circle now with James Turner. It's now Neville at right back, just in front of the halfway line. She's got Bizet in support, but she'll try and look for Naz instead. Can't beat Bjorn to it. It's now Leupolz around the corner. That's a great pass to Macaro. Beyond the halfway line. She's got Wrighton to her left, and she'll find Wrighton. It gets beyond Neville. Wrighton needs to get the cross right. Goes all the way through, and it's in! Hamano at the back post. Puts it in for Chelsea. And they return to the top of the WSL. A complete commentator's curse. I've just said she wasn't offering enough on that right-hand side. And then literally 30 seconds later, she provides a goal. It's her second of the season. She scored a month ago against Aston Villa at home. Now she scored away from home against Tottenham in a huge game for Chelsea. Again, Macaro just drifting out to the left ever so slightly, finding so much space. Tottenham have not been able to deal with that all game so far. And as she was getting forward, she found the ball out to the left to Wrighton, who in the final third played it across the 6-yard box. That is a brilliant ball in. It's just asking for someone to get a touch to it. And Hamano at the far post committed herself to it, made sure she put the ball towards goal, and it would have been very difficult for her to have not got that on target. And she's done better than get it on target. She's put it in the back of the net. And it's Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1 here at Brisbane Road. And Chelsea return back to the top of the WSL. Who would have thought this a couple of weeks ago? How the tides can change in this division. And Chelsea are looking for five titles in a row. And they're putting themselves in the best position to do such a thing. And Spurs aren't doing a lot going forward. That needs to change. Aggie Beaver-Jones fouled on halfway, tripped by Drew Spence. It's 1-0 to the Blues. Emma Hayes will be delighted that her selection of the young Japanese attacker has paid off. It's not a good sight, though, for Manchester City fans who need Spurs to take something away from this game, if that's 1 point or all three. It's a big time to get your first away goal there for Hamano. But she had a decent first 10-15 minutes, Hamano, and then for the next 20, she just went quite quiet. Not really offering much, but she definitely made herself an option there with that cross. Bombing through at the far post to make sure she got on the end of it. Someone had to get on the end of it. That's how good of a cross it was. So back underway here on the halfway line. A clearance up in the air for Tottenham. Neville helps it forward, but it's dropped straight to Charles, who's got all the time in the world to relax it. And it's now with the left centre half of Natalie Bjorn, who's made over 300 senior appearances in the women's game. Just at 27 years of age. Turned 27 earlier this month. Macaro gives it away. It's now in the left-back position for Tottenham with Neildon. Gets away from Hamano, but the touch is heavy. Picked back up by Cuthbert. Hamano into Macaro on the edge of the box. Skipping away from Bula. Macaro towards the byline. Back heels it to Hamano, who will deliver a cross into the box. It's a good header away, though, by Sumanin. Headed back forward by Bright, and another header away by Sumanin. Another header forward by Bright, but out to the right wing here to Hamano, who keeps it for now. Pokes it to the right back of Lawrence, and it's Chelsea on the ball with 5 minutes to go the first half. Hamano, ball inside, finds Cuthbert, then out wide to the right, now to Leupolz, finds herself in the right wing position. She delivers a low ball in, it deflects back towards her, but cleared by Neildon. Finds England, who can't make it stick, but it will drop to Clinton. It's now Neildon at left back. Down the left channel looking for Naz. Header won by Bright. Headed on by Macario. Drops to Beaver Jones, who's tackled on the edge of the area by Bula. It's now Tottenham to try and work this away. Neville at right back. Can she keep that ball in? No, she can't. And the ball's just ran out. Thrown for Chelsea on that far side. And now they're back top of the table. And they are top by a goal difference that is better than City's by 2 goals. That is how close it will be going into that final day. And Chelsea certainly do not have an easy fixture for that final day. Travelling to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United, who are just coming off the back of an FA Cup win. The first in their history. As we'll have a Spurs goal kick. Like I say, 12 wins from 12 for Chelsea in this fixture. Winning 2-1 earlier on this season. But in terms of last season, they played Spurs here twice. And obviously won twice. Played them in the FA Cup quarter-final in the January of 2023. Won by 3 goals to 1. And then they won in the league by 3 goals to 2. Just 2 weeks later. That's Cuthbert in the midfield for Chelsea. Goes forward to Beaver Jones. Midway side of the Tottenham half. Lays it back off to Cuthbert. Runs into traffic a Bizet, but keeps it away from the Tottenham winger. It's now Bjorn forward. Down the left-hand side for Charles. Just so much space to run into. Then down the line to Wrighton. Cross needs to be right. Cross is heavy, but Hermano puts her right foot out there to try and get onto it. But couldn't. Ball was too high in the end. And that'd be a goal kick for Tottenham. But Neildon's gone down here, the Tottenham left-back, after the challenge of Hermano, who tried to get on the end of that cross. So some treatment is needed here for the Swedish left-back of Amanda Neildon. Spent 2 years at Brighton before switching over to Italy to join Juventus, where she is been brought in on loan from. Who gets that final touch of that ball, by the way? Was it Neildon or was it Hermano? When, you know, for the goal, when the cross went in, who got the first and final? Who got the final touch? They only showed one replay there, so I'm not quite sure who. But it's definitely a question there. Hermano has been given the goal so far, but if we have another look at the replay, that could be an own goal. We'll have to just wait and see. As Amanda Neildon is still receiving treatment here for Tottenham. Chelsea just talking amongst themselves here, as they have the lead that they need. I think Emma Hayes there is talking to Gura Wrighton about how much space there is there on that left-hand side for Chelsea, who are attacking with Niamh Charles and Katerina Macario is now starting to also drift out to that left-hand side because there is so much space for them. Tottenham struggling to defend down there right with Ashley Neville and Celine Bizet. I think the stud of Hermano just caught the leg of Neildon, completely accidental. She's put her right foot out to try and kick the ball, and then I think it's her left foot just kicks through Neildon. That will be a sore one on the left ankle. Just as she's landing, Hermano's gone to put a foot down. It's going to kick through Neildon. Yeah, that will be a sore one for the left back. And they might have to make a change here. That's an awkward one. A kick on the ankle, and the kick on the ankle's, you know, a painful part anyway of the challenge. But I think the fact she's also landed a little bit awkwardly on that left ankle will not help matters. In terms of a substitute, Tottenham have only actually got one defender on the bench, and that is Charlotte Grant, the Australian right back. So I'm presuming Ashley Neville would go over to left back, and Grant would come on at right back if they have to make a change before the break. We've had 4 minutes added on here. And it looks like they're going to have to make a change here. Amanda Neildon cannot continue. Just such a out of nothing injury, you know, Hamano's going to land on the ground with her left foot, and as she's putting it down to land, she's just kicked through Nielden, who's also coming back to the ground after jumping for the ball. It's just very unfortunate for Nielden, the way that's occurred. Hamano can take no blame there. She cannot control something like that happening on a landing. So we're obviously going to play a bit more than the 4 added on here due to this little stoppage for this injury on Amanda Nielden. But Chelsea can be very happy at the moment. They are back top of the league. They've lost 3 league games though this season, Chelsea, and they've all come in the last 12 games from the 10th of December through to now, the 15th of May. Did go unbeaten in their first 8, Chelsea, before their first loss, which was on the 10th of December away at the Emirates to Arsenal. If they win these 2 games against Tottenham and Manchester United away from home, they'll have won the same amount of games away from home this season than they did last season. They also won 8 away last season, losing just the 2. So basically, if they win the next 2 games, they're going to have an identical away record, which obviously was enough for them last season to go over the line, winning the league title by 2 points, ahead of Manchester United. As that could be Amanda Nielden's last appearance in the Tottenham shirt. She's only on loan from Juventus, clearly in a lot of pain with her left ankle, the 25-year-old. And I'm presuming they're going to bring on Charlotte Grant. She seems very distressed here as she's been stretchered off. And the number 2, Charlotte Grant, will come on, brought in January from Sweden. She was part of the Australian World Cup squad. Her first international goal was, in fact, against England just over a year ago now. So it does look like that Charlotte Grant will go to right back and Ashley Neville will go to left back. So we play 3 of the 4 added on. We never actually played any of the 4 as we're 3 minutes into it. So I think we'll probably play until 52. So we'll probably play 4 minutes now. As the goal kick's taken for Tottenham. Cut out on the halfway line by Cuthbert, but straight to Spence, who tries to feed it through for Naz. Dealt with, though, by Chelsea. Headed forward by Wrighton and headed on once more by Macaro towards Beaver Jones. Headed won by James Turner. Spence for Tottenham wins it to find the ball through to England. It's now Clinton back to England again in the central area. Forward for Spence. Back through for England. Great 1-2s here from Tottenham. It's out to the right to Bizet. In the box. Crosses deep, but it's straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper. And going forward, Tottenham simply have not done not even enough. They've not done anything going forward so far. Tottenham, who of course failed to score at the weekend in the FA Cup final defeat, but they scored twice in their last WSL game, which was a 2-2 draw away at Everton. Spence and England scoring. They were 2-0 down in that game as well in 15 minutes, so did well to turn that one around, but at the moment, they're struggling to try and find any kind of opportunities as the ball runs through here for Naz on the edge of the box. Naz, in the area, goes to a left to Clinton, who will shoot towards goal and drags it wide. It's a good opportunity. It really is. Rather fortunately went through there for Naz, as it was a ball through for Spence, who couldn't quite control it. Went through her legs, which took it away from Bjorn. Went to Naz, who in the box squared it to a left to Clinton. And very straight on towards goal. She's just tried to obviously pull the shot towards the bottom left corner, but she's pulled it too far, quite far wide in the end. No trouble for the goalkeeper of Musovic, but for the lack of chances they've had, Tottenham, that's a decent one they've created there. It's Macaro, midway side of Tottenham half, bringing it forward. Into the box out left, it goes to Wrighton. Low ball into the area. Sumanin deflected back to Wrighton, who goes for the second cross, where it looks for Viva Jones, but key interception by James Turner, who tries to go out to the right to Bizet, asking a lot of the winger, and she couldn't quite bring it down there. Celine Bizet, the Norwegian winger, who made a professional debut in the Norwegian third tier at the age of 14. She's been around for a while. There's been one back here for Tottenham. Drew Spence through for Naz out wide right. She is onside this time. Millie Bright playing her on down the middle. Naz running at Bjorn. in the box, goes on the outside, Naz crossing, and it goes all the way through. Beth England went for the pull back, Naz went across goal, and no one was there to attack it in the end. Better from Naz, showing exactly what she can do when she gets on the ball and she runs at defenders. She's not been in that situation enough tonight. But I think for Tottenham, a positive will be the fact it is only one. You know, they're still in the game. It could have been a lot more than one. Chelsea have been very dominant so far. I say 10 shots for Chelsea, 6 on target. As Millie Broughton brings it forward from right centre-back, finding the right-back of Lawrence. And then returning it to the goalkeeper of Musovic. Making a 45th Chelsea appearance. Joined in the January of 2021 from Rosengard. Musovic, she played 14 times last season, 7 of them in the WSL. This is just her 6th WSL appearance of the season. 2 clean sheets. She's now on the edge of the box with Bright. No one pressing her at all. Loads of time on the ball for the Chelsea captain. Going into a holding midfield position where it's Macario with it. Just giving it back to Bright. It's now with Bjorn. Forward to Loopholtz. Loose pass. Picked up in the centre circle by Spence, but she overhits her touch. That is so poor. Giving straight back to Chelsea. Charles keeps it in on the far side, just inside the Tottenham half. Going inside here to Cuthbert. She wants to go forward. She'll do that herself. She brings it forward, not being closed down, and lays it off to the left. It's just away from Brighton, but she'll keep it in here before it would go out for a goal kick. Finds Macario in the corner of the box on the left-hand side. She gets away from Bizet and Grant and crosses into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Just too close to the near post. And we've played 52 minutes of the first half, and the referee will eventually blow for half-time here at Brisbane Road. It is a half that has been dominated by Chelsea. And it's a half that has had very little attacking action for Spurs, who had to do a lot of defending. Not really finding too many balls in behind for the likes of Jessica Naz, feeding the ball to Grace Clinton too deep on the pitch. But overall, it's been Chelsea domination. They started with a lot of shots on target. And not really testing the goalkeeper, but the goal came on the 37th minute. They'd been exploiting the Tottenham defensive right-hand side all half because it seemed like Chelsea always had a player over, and that was the same predicament through that final attack. Macario just drifted out towards the left-hand side, all alone, loads of space, slipped it through for Brighton, who put it right across the 6-yard box, and at the far post, arriving late, was Micah Hamano, who was able to get a right foot to the ball, launching it into the roof of the net, giving Chelsea a 1-goal lead, a very deserved lead as well. And at half-time here, at Brisbane Road, it's Spurs 0, Chelsea 1, and they are back on top of the WSL by goal difference, but they've got a better goal difference by 2. So it will still go down to the last day. It's not Chelsea wrapping up the league tonight, but it will put them in the driving seat going into the final day on Saturday, where Chelsea go to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United, and we will also see Manchester City go and take on Aston Villa away from home. So it's all to play for, but as it stands right now, Chelsea are top of the league with a goal difference of +2 on Manchester City. So it could all still change tonight, and it could go either way on Saturday. It is very exciting stuff in the WSL, that is for sure. During half-time, of course, we'll chat about the first half there, but we'll have the Manchester United-Newcastle game on, which is currently taking place at Old Trafford. It seems like they've been able to clear the puddles from Sunday after that absolute downpour of rain. I've never seen anything like it, if I'm going to be completely honest. It's Fernandes free kick, so Fernandes is back in for Manchester United. Amrabat heads forward from the edge, and it's an overhead kick there by Casemiro. Just putting it over the crossbar. Is he playing at the back, Casemiro? Is he in defence? Let's have a look. 0-0 between Brighton and Chelsea as well there. 0-0 at the Amex. Good header forward there by Amrabat. An overhead kick by Casemiro. McTominay cannot be playing up front. I don't believe that. It's got to be Bruno Fernandes in a false 9. It can't be McTominay up front. It's got Diallo and Garnacho. I think it'll be Fernandes playing as the striker. Or maybe even 2 up front, Fernandes and McTominay. That's what it looks like here. It looks like they're both up front as Garnacho gives it away. And Newcastle are in. Gordon can't be slipped through though. Pass just overhit there, I think by Longstaff it was. I think it's a 2 up front. As Casemiro is at centre-back, isn't he? Oh my word. They have got Camboala on the bench, who I know has been returning back from injury. Lisandro Martinez is also on the bench as well, the Argentine, but he is, if anyone's fresh from injury, it's him. Seems like he's always been injured this season, the Argentine. I don't know if anyone's seen this evening, but it looks the Premier League are voting to see if they want to abolish VAR. Wolves have put it forward, and the Premier League clubs can vote for or against VAR. If 14 of the 20 Premier League clubs vote for it, being removed, then it will go. But I doubt it would get to 14. I think clubs will keep it. I think personally, even though I know the general public want it to be gone. But like I say, half time in the game we're covering between Tottenham and Chelsea. It is 1-0 to Chelsea. Hamano with the goal. Could be one of the biggest goals of the season if they see this through, Chelsea, and go into that final day with the advantage. Play Manchester United away. That's difficult. They got beat to Manchester United away recently, Chelsea, in that defeat in the FA Cup semi-final. I mean, they absolutely dominated that game, Chelsea, but Manchester United defensively were really good. I mean, Mary Earps had an absolute shining game in goal. But, like I say, on that Saturday, for that final game of the season, I will be there. I'm going to Old Trafford. And funnily enough, and I'm not just saying this to try and cover it up, I don't support Manchester United or Chelsea. But I am going. So I will be at Old Trafford on Saturday, seeing if Chelsea can lift the league for a 5th successive time. Definitely, it'll be close. Remember, this game's not over yet, but Spurs simply aren't doing enough going forward at the moment, so I find it difficult to see Tottenham getting anything from this game. I mean, the best case scenario for Tottenham and Manchester City is a draw. You know, the best they will get is a draw if they do, but I can't see them getting a draw. But who knows? You know, one chance, you know, they've got such quality in that team, Tottenham. It's why they've done so well this season for their level. I know they're 6th place out of 12 teams, but, you know, 28 points is a strong tally in the WSL. You know, they've got the likes of Beth England, the captain, who just scores goals for fun. She's got 4 in a row at the moment in the WSL. They've got Grace Clinton as the attacking midfielder. Naz on the left, Bizet on the right. It's not a bad team, but they've not been able to get the attackers fully in the game. So far in the first half, as McTominay heads towards goal for Manchester United. Comfortable save there for Martin Dubravka. When is Nick Pope coming back in goal for Newcastle? I've not heard a lot about his injury. He's been out for quite a while, Nick Pope. Obviously, Euro is coming up in the summer. I doubt he'll be back for that. As it is. Of course, as soon as the second half is underway between Spurs and Chelsea, we'll go straight back to that. But while it's half time, we might as well have a gander at the Manchester United Newcastle result at Old Trafford at the Etihad. Can't talk. At Old Trafford. I don't think there's a lot riding on this game for both. I don't think. How close is it for those European spots? I mean, for United, they are quite far. Is it top 7 who get them? It is, isn't it? I presume. It's top 7. And Manchester United need a win. Because if they don't win, then they can't get top 7. Unless they won like 20-0 at the weekend to overtake Chelsea on goal difference. Same with Newcastle as well. This point will be enough for them. For top 7 minimum, they'd need to win on the weekend to guarantee 6th, which I think would be a brilliant season for Newcastle. You've got to remember, 4th place last season was an overachievement. 6th place, I think, will be decent for them, if I'm going to be completely honest. And yeah, for United, this all stays the same with draws, it looks like it's going to be no Europe for them, which I think, in fairness, I think will help them out, personally. I think Europe can be a bit of a distraction. If they just have a season with no Europe, just try and get the club sorted off the pitch, just have a game a week where there's not as much scrutiny on the players if they go into a European game and lose, and then that, follows through into the league game where they're on a downer because they've just lost in Europe and the fans are on the back. If you just have a season in the league, focusing on the Premier League, I think that might be healthy for United. It's Garnacho in the box, drags the shot wide of the near post, and it's a goal kick there for Newcastle United. Nick Pope's on the bench. That is great to hear. I like Nick Pope. I mean, he's not the greatest with his feet. I've definitely seen better. But I mean, as an out-and-out goalkeeper of stopping shots, which is their main job, I do like Nick Pope. He's a very good goalkeeper at that. Yeah, it's good to see. Has he been on the bench for the last few games? Yeah, he has as well. That's good. So, slow return for Nick Pope. 32 years of age now, Nick Pope. I mean, goalkeepers can go till any age, really, but still. I thought he was 30, not 32. Bruno Fernandes out to the right wing to Wan-Bissaka, and he's overhit it. Out of play. Not a lot really going on in this game between Manchester United and Newcastle. We'll make sure we don't miss any of the game that we're covering tonight. So we'll switch back to the coverage of Spurs against Chelsea. I think a second goal kills it, I think, in this game. Another goal for Chelsea, and that's 3 points. And I think at the minute, with the way the game's going, Chelsea can't exactly commit for that second goal because they can't afford to draw the game. But I do think if they get a second, I think they'll start really going for it in terms of goals, because they know goal difference will then be the biggest part that will be played of the season. So I think it's getting that balance right of understanding, yes, we want a second goal to have security in the game, but we don't want to go too hard for the second goal in case, they might get caught on the counter-attack. Because, of course, Spurs have got pace up front with the likes of Jessica Naz, the England under-23 international, making a 100th appearance for Tottenham, as mentioned before. 23 years of age, turns 24 in September. As for the upcoming, we've got some great commentaries coming up at the weekend. We really do have some exciting ones. Tomorrow we have Leeds against Norwich in the Championship semi-final, second leg, which is 0-0. So it is all to play for, which would mean it'll be a very interesting game tomorrow at Ellen Road, because there has to be a winner if that's in 90 minutes, if that's through extra time or through penalty kicks. And then we'll be covering Crawley against Crewe, the League 2 playoff final on Sunday, which is a 1 o'clock kickoff. And then straight after, almost immediately, I'll be turning my attention from that game to the final day of the Premier League season. I will be commentating on Manchester City against West Ham. It's the first time I've ever done a final day game, and the fact it's got so much riding on it, it'll be a very exciting one. See if we might get another Aguero-like moment at the Etihad. We'll have to wait and see. But they are the three commentaries that are coming up this week. So we've got Thursday, which is Leeds against Norwich, and then 2 on the Sunday with Crawley against Crewe and Manchester City taking on West Ham United. In terms of next week's commentaries, we haven't actually got any of them planned yet, because of course the Premier League comes to an end, and the WSL's coming to an end. Basically, club football is pretty much coming towards its close now, and then we'll have to wait for the Euro. So there probably will be a lot less commentaries coming up now, just due to the fact that obviously club football, like I say, is ending. There's not a lot of games actually going on. We have got the Europa League final on Wednesday, which is Atalanta Leverkusen. We'll definitely cover that game. We'll do the Europa League final. But yeah, just going through the games next week. There's actually not really a lot going on. There might just be the one commentary next week of the Europa League final. We'll do the Championship playoff final as well, of course. That's on the Sunday. So I think it's just 2 commentaries next week. We'll do Atalanta Leverkusen, and then we'll do the Championship playoff final. And the week after, we might do the Conference League final as well, Olympiacos Fiorentina, maybe. I'm not too sure, though, on that. But, yeah, it's definitely going to be... commentaries are going to be coming up to not being that often, unfortunately, for the next few weeks. This is the last week of constant commentaries. We've got 4 this week, and then after that it'll just be 1 or 2 each week until the Euros, and then we're back on it again, and we're going to be smashing out the commentaries for the Euros, which start in just less than a month now. First game will be Germany-Scotland, so very exciting times, of course. But you've got to make sure you're subscribed and you've got notifications on, so you know exactly what games I'm doing and when I'm doing them, so you'll be right up to date. As Chelsea have took a lead away at Brighton. Cole Palmer with the goal. That puts Chelsea up to 6th position. Newcastle dropped to 7th, 2 points behind Chelsea with their current draw at Manchester United. Cole Palmer, what a joke of a player he's been this season. Don't think anyone expected him to hit it off the way he has at Stamford Bridge. Let's have a look at the Cole Palmer goals. We're about to get back underway here at Chelsea. Do apologise. We have kicked off. Chelsea kicking right to left. Spurs left to right. Oh, Cole Palmer with a header. Brilliant header. But we are back underway here at Brisbane Road, where Spurs need to try and lift their levels up, especially going forward. Not done a lot attacking-wise. It's been a rather easy game for the Chelsea defence so far. Tottenham can play out from the back with the ball. Edge of the box with... That is Bula to the central midfield of Clinton. Sending the ball back to the goalkeeper, Votikova. Sorry, I'm messing this timer up. I can't get the timer going. I've missed it again. Sorry. Tottenham are still on the ball, though. This near side with their right back, Grant. To Bizet. Bundled off the ball a bit too easily there by Cuthbert. Cleared by Charles. Comes off Grant. Thrown for Chelsea just inside their own half there on this near side. Cucurella assisted Palmer because I literally just watched the goal. So I feel like I've cheated your question. I literally just saw it. So yeah, it was Cucurella who assisted. As England clears away for... Sue Manning, clears away for Spurs. Bjorn wins the header ahead of Naz and heads it to the goalkeeper, Musovic. Chelsea back on the ball 90 seconds into the second half. All they need to do is win. Chelsea, it's as simple as that. If they can win by a big amount of goals, then that is a bonus. But a short ball by the goalkeeper, can't find the right back, Lawrence. England slips it through for Naz. It's just overhit. Well defended by Bjorn, who clears it out of play for Chelsea. Just went a bit too short there with the pass. Musovic try to lift it to the right back of Ashley Lawrence. It was well read, though, by Beth England, who headed it forward and then played it into the space for Naz. Just overhit ever so slightly. Not much on it at all. It's now back with Tottenham in their own half with James Turner, the centre half. Out to the right back position of Charlotte Grant, the Australian. Brilliant ball. Grant brings it forward, but turns back to keep it away from Wrighton. Finds Sumanen. 1-2 there as Grant has it again. Left-footed ball inside. That's good football. Bula into the centre circle now to Grace Clinton. Should have turned and went out to the right to Spence, but I don't think she saw the pass on. Clinton, I've said this many times during the game, I don't want to bore you or annoy you by saying the same thing, but they're picking up Grace Clinton on the ball in the wrong areas. She's finding it too deep. I'd allow Spence to have the ball deeper, the number 24, and allow Clinton to try and break the lines, get in between the midfield and defence, and try and pick up the ball in dangerous areas for Tottenham. As they've got it on the halfway line, on that far side here with Neville, the left back. 1-2 with Sumanen. Neville keeps it in, facing her own goal, but then turning forward, then going back inside to Sumanen. Back to the goalkeeper here of Votikova. To her right to James Turner. Just about getting the ball away from a pressing Beaver Jones. Grant forward to Clinton. Turns nicely, trying to go forward with the ball. Goes to a left instead here to Sue Manning. The ball's out left here to Neville, and she'll find Neville. Inside to England. Back to the halfway line here to Sue Manning. Back it goes into Bula. You see the switch out to the right hand side. It's a low ball, and it's been cut out too easily there by Charles, who brings it beyond the halfway line. Lays it out to a left here to Wrighton. Tries to play ball into the middle to Beaver Jones. Holds up really well. Tries to find Cuthbert, and she does find Cuthbert. On once more to Lupot. Far right hand side now to Hermano. Got Ashley Lawrence on the overlap. She finds her. Lawrence low cut back. Can't find Macario. Well cut out there by Neville. And it's a throw in the final third for Chelsea on that far side as they start to grow themselves back into the game here. As they've won it back, those Spurs from the throw-in. Through Grace Clinton, cleared by Neville. Headed on by Naz towards Bizet, but she's turned by Charles. That's a great Cruyff turn in the centre circle. So now Lupot's forward to Macario. Turns, and out wide right it goes to Hermano. In the final third, lays it back here into Lawrence. Into the middle of the park to Cuthbert. Back out wide to Lawrence. Goes to the halfway line to Bright. There's Chelsea have possession of the football again. Millie Bright has it, the number 4. She was last in the WSL Team of the Year in the 21-22 season. She won't make it this time around just due to an injury that she had, and she also picked up an injury last season as well, from March to May. Millie Bright. It's Macario taking off the ball there. It's not seen as a foul by Spence. Naz has it. Edge of the box. Option to her right of Bizet, who needs to let fly if she can. She turns back instead in the box on her right foot. Finds Grant. Crosses low to the near post. Dealt with by Bjorn. But Tottenham have got to be doing more with that. It's just so... It just seems a bit lackadaisical when they go forward with the ball. It was a great win by Spence. I thought it was a foul. Went through the back of Macario, but it wasn't given by the referee. Then Naz brought it forward to the edge of the box. Now to the right to Bizet. And as she took the touch out of her feet, she just has to let go with the shot, but decided against it and then was turning one way, then the other. Eventually they've worked a corner, though, with the cross from Charlotte Grant. It'll be an outswinger from Sue Manning. It's a ball towards the far post. It's won by Millie Bright. Still alive for Tottenham in the air. Put back in by Bula. Header won by Charles. Only as far as Grace Clinton, who's facing her own goal. Her touch isn't great, but she pokes it back to the halfway line to Grant. First time ball forward out to the left. It's a great pass to Neville. To the byline. She keeps it in. And she's onside as well. And plays it through for Spence. Tight angle in the box. She'll go for the shot, which has been blocked by Bright. And she clears it. Bit of a sliced one. And there'll be a throw-in for Tottenham on that far side. A big chance there for Drew Spence, the former Chelsea player, who only left last season. But it does look like if anyone can make things happen, it is her. As the throw-in by Neville. Finds Clinton in the box. Lays it off for Naz outside the area. Grant's free. She finds the right back Grant. Forward to Bizet. Grant continues her run. Bizet finds her. Grant tries to get the touch inside, but she's tackled by Charles. Another corner for Spurs on the near side. It's their best spell of the game in terms of going forward here for Spurs. They've got to try and make it count. Charlotte Grant off the bench in the first half for the injured left back Amanda Neildon. And she's really looked positive going forward. The Australian. Adelaide born right back, just 22 years of age. Left her home country of Australia for Sweden in April 2021. As again, it'll be Sue Manning with the delivery. It's more into the centre of the box. It drops to the far post. The shot goes in. It's a big block and it's put over the bar. Oh, Bula with the first shot. She had it blocked. And the second one found itself going over the crossbar from about 6 yards out. Looks like it may have been James Turner. Another difficult delivery for Chelsea to deal with. It dropped to the far post to Bula. Is that a save? If that's a save, that is brilliant. Dropped to Bula, who took a touch of her left, then shot with her left towards going across goal. It's a block there by Beaver Jones, and then it's Neville who just put it over the crossbar. Huge opportunity for Spurs, but it's definitely better from the home side. Brilliant block, though, by Beaver Jones doing the defensive work there, the striker. But Spurs look to come forward again. Tackled, though, by Charles, and Charles tackled and fouled by Naz. Free kick for Chelsea. As Chelsea have it, with the ball down the left, flicked on by Wrighton. Beaver Jones will chase it. James Turner will get there. She kicks it straight out of play, and it'll be a Chelsea throw. Midway side, the Tottenham half on this near side. As they've gone under a little bit of pressure there. Chelsea, in the opening parts of this second half, as Charles gives it away straight to Bizet on the right wing, who has to go back here to the edge of the area to Bula. Then around the corner out to the left, looking for Neville. It's an adventurous ball. It'll be picked up by Lawrence, who's been forced to go back there to Brighton. No, she'll turn forward again away from Neville. And she'll play it down the line here. Kept in by Hermano. And then through into the space there for what was a run that was being made by Lou Poltz, but she decided to go against the run. But the ball had already been played, so it's just gone straight out of play for a goal kick. It'll be a very tense second half, this, is if it stays at 1-0. Because one chance for Chelsea and the title could swing back in Manchester City's favour. Just a 45-minute drive from Stamford Bridge, from Meadowbank to Brisbane Road. So not exactly a long travel for Chelsea. As it's definitely Tottenham who have been okay in this opening 10 minutes of the second half. Not got any goal from it, but better than what they were doing in the first half in terms of going forward. It's Chelsea with the ball, midway side of their own half here with Millie Bright going to the goalkeeper of Zichira Musovic. Ashley Lawrence at right back, forward to Hermano in her own half, going back here to Lawrence. Chelsea struggling to get this ball forward. Lawrence tries to get it forward, with Lou Poltz sending it back here. And then a ball over the top towards Beaver Jones. She'll chase it down in the box, but it'll run through to the goalkeeper instead of Votikova. Born in Pilsen, in the Czech Republic. As England loses out on the left wing position by Lawrence. Hermano through the legs of Neville to Macario. Can she work a ball in the box? She lifts it through to Hermano, who's onside. Going towards the corner, flag back to Macario. Swings a ball in, it's a deep one. It'll run through towards the near side here, and it'll be Charles to have the ball. Plays it inside, wants the 1-2 with Wrighton. Spence dives in, doesn't get there. Charles pulls it back. Sue Manning clears away from Beaver Jones. Really good defending there by Sue Manning. But Chelsea still have it with Lawrence out to the right winger here to Hermano. Neville will chase it, and she'll tackle her as well. Brilliant challenge there by Neville. Not got a lot going on in front of her though. Goes inside to Clinton, back out to Neville. Then into Clinton, who's taken up a left-back position here for Tottenham. Again, picking up the ball a bit too deep for me. And it's now with the right centre-half here of James Turner. Once of Manchester United, won the Championship title with the Red Devils in the 2018-19 season. There's Bizet, great ball through to the halfway line to Sue Manning. That wide right for Naz, who will chase it. Bjorn will beat it to it, but then Naz will take it off her. Brilliant pressing from the attacker. Naz in the box, overruns it, tackles Bjorn, but the loose ball drops to Bright, who will clear. Header inside by Wright into Macario. Then out to the right flank here to Hermano, who will cross the halfway line for Chelsea. Bringing the ball forward. She could bring it further if she wants, but she'll go for the switch out to the left instead. It's a good pass, actually. Finding Wrighton in the final third. Limited for options, but goes into the centre of the park to Cuthbert, then back to Bright. And Chelsea just restart a little bit with their back line on the ball. Lawrence deflected pass, does find Bright rather fortunately. There's Cuthbert, just keeps it simple, going back here to the Swedish centre-half of Natalie Bjorn. It's now Bright out to that far side to Hermano, good touch. Ball inside to Macario, too much space for her. She plays into the box towards Wrighton, cleared on the penalty spot there by Grant. Headed back out wide by Lou Poltz to Hermano. And it's just Chelsea taking control of the game once again. And in fairness, Tottenham are unbeaten in their last 5 games in the WSL. They've won 2 against Bristol and Leicester, and then drawn 3 against Everton, Brighton and Manchester United, and they've all come in a row. Their last 3 WSL fixtures have been draws against those 3 sides. Most recently against Everton away, where they were 2-0 down and came back to draw 2-2. As Chelsea still have it, just in front of their halfway line here. It's now back in their own half with Bright. Lift the ball out to the left to Charles, who heads it forward for Wrighton. Just outside the box at the moment. It's headed away from her by James Turner, who can't avoid the corner. And there'll be a set piece for Chelsea on this near side. James Turner, the one who was doing the important defending in the end there. For Tottenham. Half an hour to go. In swinger from the right boot of Macario. In it goes. Header away for Tottenham. Well, as far as the edge of the box to Hermano. Works it back out wide to Macario, who can re-deliver the ball into the box. Can she with a right foot? She will eventually do so. Deflects off Bizet. Headed forward by, I think that was Bjorn. Couldn't quite find loopholes. It's into the gloves of the goalkeeper of Votikova, who throws it out to the left back Neville. He goes back here into Bula. Luana Bula, the Tottenham centre-half, hasn't scored since November 2021. I know she's a centre-back, but, you know, centre-backs score every now and then from corners. But, yeah, just not much of a goal scorer from the back, it must be said, as Clinton loses out on halfway. And the foul is committed there by Charlotte Grant. There'll be a free kick in the centre circle for the Blues. And it's now with Millie Bright. In between the lines with a pass to Cuthbert. Out to the right now to Hermano. Cuthbert caught as she played it. But Hermano will run at Neville and enter the box with the ball. Pulling it back. Aggie Beaver-Jones with the back heel. And it just trickles wide of the far post. Not the best of connections there by Beaver-Jones. I know that's been a little bit harsh because she was going for the back heel attempt. But just, I mean, if the back heel had better contact, then it might have gone in there. Good running there by Hermano. The referee was going to blow for the free kick on Cuthbert, but they were in a very advanced position there. Chelsea should be Chelsea's worst enemy if she'd blown that back for a free kick. Good work there by Hermano, but like I say, just a pretty weak finish by Aggie Beaver-Jones, who's tried to just flick it towards goal. There's Spurs playing out from the back. Sue Manning's ball in the box just about reaches James Turner. As Wrighton was right on that to try and take the ball away for Chelsea. And it's a throw-in just in front, just before the halfway line for Tottenham. Bizet takes it quickly, finding Clinton just about. Sue Manning getting the ball stuck under her feet, but she can work it to the goalkeeper of Votikova. Beaver-Jones closing it down, but she'll work it to the right centre half here. It's actually Clinton who's got it. Works it to Sue Manning on the edge of the box. Trying to go forward and finding Drew Spence in a more central area. Then out to the left to Neville. Bringing it beyond the halfway line for Tottenham. Driving inside and laying it off to Sue Manning. Goes out to the right wing to Bizet. Not got a lot going on around her, but she's been out-muscled by Charles, who wins it back for Chelsea. Flicks it into Wrighton. Ball inside to Macario. Through for Beaver-Jones. Tackled very strongly there by James Turner. And that'll be a free kick. I think that'll be a throw-in for Tottenham, I believe. As Beaver-Jones has stayed down there. It was a fair challenge from James Turner, don't get me wrong. It had a little bit of venom to it, a bit of anger, a bit of aggression. But maybe just the contact was a little bit heavy, maybe on the follow-through. Yeah, just a bit of a follow-through there by James Turner, but it was a nice challenge. Got the ball cleanly. Definitely a heavy one. That goes without saying. I'm not saying it was, it wasn't a strong challenge. It would have been a sore one. But they need her back to her feet, really. Because she could be the one to score the goals tonight, I give Eva Jones. As it does like Tottenham are going to make a change. I don't know if that's going to be now or shortly, but it does look like Martha Thomas, the Scottish striker, is getting ready to make her 50th start in a career in the WSL. It's back underway. Beaver Jones is also fine to continue. With the back four of Tottenham here with Bula to the left back and Neville. Finds Drew Spence. Now in the Chelsea half, bringing it forward. Keeping it away from Macario. Now Sue Manning. In between the lines here for Clinton. Cuthbert trying to tackle her and Bright, but she keeps away from both of them. Works it to Neville. Forward towards Clinton, but it comes off the foot there of Lawrence, who can intercept the ball. And it's Chelsea back on it with their goalkeeper Musovic. Doesn't take any chances, clears it long out to the Tottenham right, where it'll be picked up here by Grant, who can keep it in. Just in front of the halfway line, going into her own half here to James Turner. And then across to a partner at the back, and that is Luana Bula. Now Sue Manning, just inside the centre circle in the Tottenham half. Goes to her right here to James Turner. And more advanced into a right wing position now with Bizet. Running at the Chelsea defence, being knocked off the ball by Cuthbert, but she keeps her balance and keeps it and takes on Cuthbert. Great skill from Bizet as the ball goes into the near post. Cleared by Bright. But that's definitely better from Celine Bizet. That's exactly what she can bring when she's given a chance to run at defences. I thought she'd just been knocked off the ball there by Cuthbert, who just went in strong with her shoulder. But she was able to keep a balance and then take on Cuthbert, but just hurried the cross a little bit. She took her time. She would have found Spence in a bit more space, but instead aimed more to the near post, where it was Jessica Naz the closest to it. So we're going to get two changes, and Bizet is one of them. So Bizet is off for Vinberg, and Naz, who just hasn't really offered enough in this game, the number 7 for Tottenham on her 100th appearance for the club, she has come off for Martha Thomas. So a double change for Tottenham with 25 left of the 90 to play. There's Manchester City fans still got their fingers crossed that Spurs can work an equaliser here as they go long down the right-hand side, looking for Martha Thomas in the area. Bjorn will get there first and has to just concede the corner. And the two Tottenham corners they've had on that near side have been dangerous. Their biggest chance have come from a set-piece when it dropped to Bula in the box, who was allowed a shot at goal, but it was blocked really well by Beaver Jones. So Sue Manning again coming across to take this corner. Her two previous deliveries have been floaters into the box. They've almost just hung up in the air. So if you do win a header, you've almost got to generate the power yourself. Really get your head through the ball. Use all the neck muscles possible. Referee just having a word with the goalkeeper and Charlotte Grant. Just a little bit of shoving on the goal line. As Chelsea need to concentrate here. Really need to keep focus. As it will be Sue Manning to deliver. Similar delivery. Header towards goal and caught by Musovic. I think that came off the head of a Chelsea player of Cuthbert. I don't know if it was, in fact, a header won there by James Turner. I'd have to have another look. Sue Manning with the delivery in. I couldn't see from there. Here we go. Oh no, they're just showing the ball back in. I don't know who won the header, but either way, it went towards goal, caught by Musovic as Drew Spence. What a great challenge that is with a slide tackle to stop dead the Chelsea attack here. Leupolt's the one who was not fouled, was tackled brilliantly, but they're giving away. And Macario now for Chelsea. Just peeling out towards the left-hand side, right on the edge of the box. She enters the box. No one around her, though, in blue to help her out. She goes towards the corner flag here, Macario. But she's been tackled by Grant, who can't quite keep the ball in. And that'll be a corner kick for Chelsea. Did well there to win a corner, Caterina Macario. Because, like I say, no one in a Chelsea shirt was around her. Let's have a look at that challenge again. Drew Spence came in. That's a brilliant tackle for me on Melanie Leupolz. But unfortunately, Spurs didn't make the most of it. They pretty much gave the ball away immediately after. So it's going to be another in-swinger in this game. It's going to be the right foot of Macario, who's just making her 4th start in a Chelsea shirt. She puts the ball into the box. Well, one header at the near post for Tottenham. Drops to Hermano, who goes back into Lawrence. Lifts it out wide left to Macario. Controls it well. Plays it through into the box for Wright, and he tries to pull it across, but it's blocked there and cleared by Martha Thomas. And she kicks it up the field there. And there'll be a free kick anyway for Tottenham. Offside in that build-up as we've got 21 minutes to play. Chelsea still have that 1-goal lead. The goal lead they need to take the title in their hands on the last day. Chelsea's last away result was that 4-3 defeat to Liverpool. So, you know, they're not at their strongest at the minute. Like I said, they've lost 4 of their last 8 in all competitions, Chelsea. They've definitely been in better form. That is for sure. Chelsea are going to make changes here. So the number 12 of Ashley Lawrence, the right back, will be replaced by Jess Carter. Definitely seen stronger performances by Ashley Lawrence, the right back. Not like she's done much wrong, but not loads to the best of her ability. Second change, we'll see the match winner at the moment, Hamano, the Japanese international. She will be replaced by number 19, Joanna Ritten-Karnrud, the Swedish right winger, who's got the 3 goals in the WSL this season. Her most recent was away at Leicester in March. And the third and final change, we'll see Macario replaced by Sioke Nuskin, the midfielder brought in from Frankfurt in the summer. She bagged plenty of goals this season for Chelsea, 11 in all competitions, but she hasn't scored in the last 9 since a brace against Ajax in the Champions League. So for all the goals she has scored this season, Nuskin, they haven't come very recently. As we're back underway here, Chelsea on the ball in the Tottenham half with Leupolz finding Cuthbert back to the halfway line to Carter, as it looks like Chelsea have gone to a back 3. Millie Bright clearance out to the left, it's a high one. Last comes off Grant, Chelsea throwing in the Tottenham half. Yeah, back 3 for Chelsea, which might allow them to get a few more players forward here. It is a Manchester United lead at Old Trafford, 1-0. Kobbie Mainoo with the goal. So that lifts Manchester United to 8th on the same points as Newcastle, but with a lot worse goal difference. Is Tottenham out of it? Neville at left back, finding the left centre half of Bula, looking for Neville again, who plays it down the line, but no one in the white shirts there. Dealt with by Carter, who goes forward now to Ritten-Karnrud. Neville tries to take it off her, but she does put her under pressure, which makes the pass fall to Clinton. So it's back in possession for Spurs with 18 to play. Like I said, they've had another dead patch in the game, Tottenham, where they've done nothing going forward, which is frustrating because the game's there for them if they want to try and get back in this with a draw. Sumanen, ball from Clinton, just a bit short, but Sumanen uses the body well to get in front of Cuthbert, who went right through it. And that'll be a free kick for Tottenham. Not a great ball, that, from Clinton, but it's good midfield work by Sumanen to win the free kick. Made her 50th appearance in their last WSL game for Tottenham. Evelina Sumanen, the Finnish central midfielder. 4 WSL goals, 3 of them at home. Scored once this season against Bristol in the second game of the season. As Tottenham have it on halfway with Drew Spence tripped by Cuthbert, and the free kick will be given. Referee having another word there with Erin Cuthbert. No cards though out of the pocket of the referee, Emily Heaslip. So free kick on the halfway line. Are Spurs going to keep it simple and go short, or are they going to maybe send a few bodies forward and try and maybe launch this in towards the 18-yard box? And they're going to launch it forward here. Sue Manning towards the edge of the box. Header away though by Ritting Carnred. Up towards Beaver Jones, who beats Bula to the header. And it falls to Newskin. He tries to go down the line. It's well blocked back by Neville because the ball down the line. And Ritting Carnred was away and onside as well, I think. As there is the Tottenham head coach, Robert Villaham. Just 41 years of age. Previously at BK Hacken as their manager. Before that, he was their assistant for the women's side. And it's Jess Carter at right centre-back going across here to Natalie Bjorn. Forward and out left here to Charles in the Tottenham half. She's been chased down here by by Vinberg, but she finds the ball inside it to Cuthbert, who's got a tight angle, tries to square it. That's a huge sliding challenge, that by Charlotte Grant. The Australian right back is a really good game since coming on just before half time. But it was Vinberg trying to chase down Charles. But Cuthbert received it on the edge of the box, took it past James Turner. And then the angle was tight, like I said, to try to square it. But Charlotte Grant threw herself at it and blocked. So this time, because Macario is off, it's going to be Cuthbert to cross this ball in towards the near post, header away. But helped back forward for Chelsea, then headed away again for Spurs by Grant. Hooked back into the air by Wrighton as it's headed away by a Tottenham player, then flicked on by Spence. Back forward for Chelsea in the area. Cuthbert's chasing it. England will be the one to clear it backwards and then heads it across goal. What is Beth England doing? I'm not too sure, but she's got away with it as the shot towards goal goes wide of the post. Beaver Jones with the final strike. Not quite sure what Beth England was doing there. That clearance. The clearance was I thought was going to be the worst part, the way she just sliced it back towards her own goal. But then that header away, right to the penalty spot towards Beaver Jones, that is quite comical. And she's got away with it, Beth England, who's been tackled there by Millie Bright. It's found its way to Ritting Carnred. Ball inside to Beaver Jones. Nutmegs Bula. Beaver Jones crosses, but no one's there at the far post for Chelsea. Charlotte Grant will pick it up for Tottenham, and she'll race down the right-hand side here. Grant chopping away from Newskin, then finding the ball inside to Drew Spence. It's now with Sue Manning. Wants to go forward, but can't do so. Has to go back there to James Turner. A little bit frustrating, Tottenham, not getting the ball forward quick enough. They always seem to be going backwards, which isn't always the right thing to do at times when you're trying to get back into a game. Sue Manning driving away from Wrighton. Having to turn multiple times here, Sue Manning, but she does keep it. Out to near side to Grant. It's a long ball forward. Cut out there by Neve Charles. It's now with Newskin back to Charles at left back. He will bring it forward. She plays a pass into Cuthbert. He will try and drop it off to Wrighton, but she can't because she's been tackled by Clinton. Poked through there to Spence. Then forward here to Martha Thomas, who's just that's the right-hand side. Tries to play a ball through for England, nowhere near it in the end. Straight through into the gloves of Musovic in the Chelsea goal. And it's now Cuthbert in the centre circle with the ball. Just playing it back to the left centre half here of Natalie Bjorn. It's now Jess Carter brought on off the bench. Chelsea's number 7. Scored last season against Spurs. Here. In the league fixture when it ended 3-2 back on the 5th of February 2023. Carter still has it in the Chelsea half, finding loopholes. Clinton's close towards her, but she goes back here to Carter and across to Bjorn. Just settling with the ball here, Chelsea. It's this near side now to Charles, who can keep it in, and she tries to turn away from Vinberg, but she overruns it. And that'll be a throw-in for Spurs just inside the Chelsea half. Neve Charles not happy with that decision. She thought she'd kept the ball in. And it's now with Tottenham with their right-back Grant. Switch to the left centre-back of Luana Bula, who finished 4th place in the German league with Hoffenheim last season, as she gives the ball away so cheaply to Jess Carter. I think she was aiming for Beth England at left wing, but it was never going to reach her in the end, that ball. As Millie Bright sends a long ball down the right-hand side, it's going to be given chase away by Rittin Karmrid. And she'll beat Bula to it. Rittin Karmrid squares it behind Beaver Jones. It's now Wrighton. Crosses again. Headed into the air by Bula. Needs to be cleared here by Spence. He will try and clear it. Deflects off Newskin. Brought down by Cuthbert. Crossed by Wrighton. Headed forward by Beaver Jones. And it's an easy catch in the end for the goalkeeper. But there's a foul given against Beaver Jones. Pushing the back as she won a header. Still here for Tottenham to take it if they want it. It's just the 1-0. Chelsea haven't been great going forward in terms of their potency in front of goal. It just seems all a bit, not rushed, just not that final finish that they need. As Tottenham have it on the halfway line. Near side, Martha Thomas just about keeps it there. Going to Grace Clinton. Almost tackled by Newskin. Everyone, thank you to everyone who is here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Long ball down the right here for Spurs, just cut out by Charles. Throwing here for Tottenham, midway inside the Chelsea half. Do appreciate all of you listening in to this big game in the WSL. As it looks like we're going to get a double change for Chelsea. And what a sight that is to see. Aggie Beaver Jones, who had scored 2 braces in a row for Chelsea in the league against Bristol and Liverpool. She's got 6 goals in the last 4 games and an England call-up. She'll be replaced by the number 10 of Lauren James, who's got 13 WSL goals last season. She hasn't featured in the last 3 games in the league. For Chelsea, her last goal came just over a month ago now in the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United. And the second change will see Guro Wrighton, who scored 4 in her last game against Bristol City. She's replaced by the leaving Fran Kirby, who will be moving away from Chelsea in the summer. She's got 2 goals so far this season, her last in late January against Brighton. She is Chelsea women's leading all-time leading scorer, Fran Kirby, with 115. As we've got stoppage in the game with 10 to play. Drew Spence, the Spurs central midfielder, just receiving treatment for the moment. So, just leaves us to wait for the restart. So the game is still alive. Definitely don't go anywhere. This could go either way here. In terms of Chelsea being in control of the title going into the final day. Or it could swing back into the hands of Manchester City. It looks like Spurs are going to make another change here. Central midfielder Kit Graham will have to come on here for Drew Spence, the former Chelsea player who cannot continue, the Jamaican 31-year-old. So, it'll be Kit Graham to come on. Kit Graham brought in from Charlton in August 2019. She was the first female scorer at Tottenham's new ground, Kit Graham, in a 1-0 win against Birmingham in early September of 2021. As we're back underway with the throw-in. And they've lost it already, Spurs. Good win back there by Newskin. And now Lauren James bringing the ball forward. Sue Manning tries to stop her, but she can't. Lauren James tries to play the pass through, but it's come off the heel of Loophole, but straight to Newskin. Out to the right to Rittin Karmrid. Struggling to keep the ball, but she just about pokes it away from the 3 Tottenham players around her into Cuthbert. Looks like Lauren James had found the defence splitting pass, but hit it off the heels of Loophole. But Chelsea can still try and attack and get the next goal here, but they've given it away, Rittin Karmrid, to the left back of Neville. It's now Grace Clinton restarting with the goalkeeper, Votikova. James Turner, the right centre-back, into Grant, the right back, tries to go inside, a lifted ball, doesn't work, comes off the head of Newskin, and it'll be hooked away by James Turner. Straight out of play for a Chelsea throw-in in the left wing position. Just doesn't seem like Spurs have enough in the tank or in terms of ability to really get an equaliser here. It's Lauren James in the left wing position, keeping the ball for Chelsea. Going back here into Newskin. To a right to Loophole, tries to play the ball back through for Newskin, but cleared by Grant, only as far as the head of Loophole, but headed away by Sue Manning. Straight back to Loophole, who Clears it forward here. Fran Kirby will chase it. Header straight to Ritten Carmen from James Turner, but she loses out in the end to Sue Mannon. Now to the right wingers. Tottenham look to break forward here. Kit Graham. Finding Vinberg, who just gets the ball stuck under her feet. Tackled by Charles too easily. And Chelsea try and go forward. Fran Kirby receiving it on the half turn. And playing it to Lauren James. Who's facing her own goal here. And she just about keeps it. Surrounded by white shirts. And she overruns it here, Lauren James. On the halfway line. Loses out in the end. Just needed to release it a bit quicker there, Lauren James. Who's just come off the bench for Chelsea. It's now a Tottenham. Vinberg looking for a ball into Beth England. Who's coming back from an offside position. That would have been tight. Lots of room opened up for Tottenham on the left-hand side there. As Ashley Neville was bombing forward from left-back. But, yeah, for now, that was given as offside. So Chelsea lead the league title race. Same points as City, but they've got a better goal difference by 2. And they've certainly scored more than Manchester City after that 8-0 win last time out against Bristol. As Chelsea play it down the right-hand side. Cuthbert with the cross in. Kirby with the shot, but lifts it right over the crossbar. Just didn't get over that Kirby. Just almost let it kind of just bounce over off her foot and over the crossbar. She's definitely struck better than that. Fran Kirby, who may be playing her last game in a Chelsea shirt, who knows, because, like I say, she's leaving at the end of the season. And there's no guarantee she comes on against Manchester United. Yeah, just didn't quite control that finish from around 8 yards out, Fran Kirby, and she knows that was a chance. She certainly knows that was a chance. There's a free kick on the halfway line there. No, there isn't. Ball won by Cuthbert, says the referee. It's now forward to Kirby, heads it to the right to James, and out wide right towards Ritten Carmen, who will keep the ball in for Chelsea, and she wants to go forward, but just ends up going back there to Jess Carter. And in between the lines for Newskin. Tries to play it to the left to James, but it's intercepted by England, who now has it on the left-hand side for Tottenham. Down the line towards Martha Thomas. Just a bit overhit there, cleaned up by Millie Bright. 1-2 between Newskin and Ritten Carmen. And here is the Swedish winger on the ball. Trying to play it inside, going back to Cuthbert, who then goes wide here to Carter. Back to Cuthbert in the midfield position. Finding Natalie Bjorn just in front of the centre circle. Out to the left now to Niamh Charles. Going on the outside here. Putting the cross in, but she was just knocked off balance, so the cross didn't go very far. And Tottenham can try and attack down this Chelsea left, where they're without Niamh Charles at the moment. But an easy tackle there by Loopholtz. It is a good challenge, but it's a bit too easy on Vinberg. And now Kirby in the box left-hand side. Cuts it across. Lauren James tries to bundle her way through, but she can't. And the ball deflects to the goalkeeper, Votikova. Just seems all a little bit messy at the moment in this game. Is Tottenham just aren't really creating anything, in all honesty, especially with that back 3 of Chelsea. It's very hard to get through, of Carter, Bright and Bjorn. It's on the right wing position. Vinberg forward for Martha Thomas, who's going to chase it, but she won't beat Millie Bright to it, whose pass is intercepted by Vinberg, but the loose ball drops to Charles, and then cleared by Bjorn down the left-hand side. Almost a slither of hope there for Tottenham, but they couldn't quite break through. But they've kept the game at 1-0, and anything can happen. They've still got a sniff of a draw. They've drawn 7 this season already. Spurs, 3 of them away, and all those draws at home have been 1-1. Could that be a sign? Oh, who knows? We'll have to find out. That's Beth England in the left wing position. Keeps away from Carter on the halfway line, going back into her own half here, and the ball into the midfield. It works its way through to Beth England. Can Tottenham have a go here at Chelsea's defence? Clinton, one more ball on here. Clinton goes on her own instead, and she has to play the pass. She has to play the pass to Matilda Vinberg. But instead, Grace Clinton went on her own from around 22 yards out. She's gone to strike the ball instead. She's got to play it to Vinberg, who's free down the right-hand side of the box. Greedy that from Clinton. And she was never going to be able to work that on target. As we're back underway here. Fran Kirby on the ball. But pulled back for a free kick there for Chelsea in a left-back position with Niamh Charles. It's now the goalkeeper in the 18-yard box of Musovic. Bjorn. Going out wide here to Charles. Just about keeps it in on the halfway line. Last touch off Neve Charles. And that'll be a Spurs throw-in. Inside their own half, though. And Chelsea have got bodies back. But Grant's going to throw it long down the line. She was thinking about it. She eventually throws it. And then they lose it straight away. Martha Thomas can't keep it under control. Space is opened up here for Ritten Carnred. Running towards goal, but can't get beyond Neville. Great tackle that on the edge of the box by Ashley Neville. She had to get that right. But Kit Graham gives it away on the edge of the area. Ritten Carnred with it again. Playing it across the box. Cleared only as far as the edge of the area where the shot towards goal. Deflects out for a corner for Chelsea again. Erin Cuthbert with the eventual shot towards goal. Just that final third bit from Chelsea tonight hasn't been good enough at all. I know they're winning and that's all they'll care about, but if it comes back to bite them where they end up conceding late, it's not like they've not had chances to kill this game off. It's just that final pass to create the final chance to really get a decent shot towards goal. It's not been good enough. As referee's going to have a word here with Lauren James and Charlotte Grant. Again, Charlotte Grant getting the speaking to by the referee. She seems to be a bit of a nuisance at corners. Charlotte Grant, always trying to get herself in the way. As Cuthbert crosses in, the header towards the far post, over the bar, but there's a free kick in there given by the referee. So it's a Spurs ball, because I think it came off a Spurs player, that header, over the crossbar at the near post. So we're about to hit the 90th minute. I'm going to have a guess. I'm going to go 5 minutes added on. I'm going to go 5. Could be 4, though. Could be 6. 4 minutes added on for Chelsea to see this through, to put themselves top of the league going into the last day. Newskin on the left wing, crossing into the box. It's a deep one. It'll go through for Ritten Carnred on the opposite side here. She's got Jess Carter back there if she wants to use it. And she'll just find Jess Carter, who will deliver a cross into the box. Header away by Kit Graham. Up towards Martha Thomas, who can't work the header to Clinton. And it's now Millie Bright on the halfway line. Out to the left to Bjorn. Forward to Kirby. Now back into Leupold. Forward to Newskin. Touches it away from James Turner. Cuthbert out to the left. That's a great pass to Neve Charles. In the final third. Takes on Grant and crosses left-footed, but it's intercepted. It needs to be cleared, though. Can't clear it, though, Tottenham. They just can't get it away. Kicks it off Cuthbert. Throw it in the right-back position for Spurs, as they've got less than 3 minutes to try and get an equaliser here. Every time they've played Chelsea, Tottenham, they've been beaten. 12 games, 12 defeats. No draws. Could that change tonight? I doubt it, but who knows? Throwing down the line. Bounces straight off Clinton. And out for a Chelsea throw-in. Problem for Tottenham this half, or the back end of this second half, has been they can't get out of their own half. Simple as that. Lauren James slips it through in the box for Kirby. Once more to Newskin. Again, that final pass for Chelsea isn't coming off. And it's eventually dealt with by Spurs here. Out to the left back of Neville. Forward for Martha Thomas. Needs to hold this up. Martha Thomas running towards goal. Tackle by Millie Bright. Throwing on halfway here for Tottenham. Not many options for her. She does throw it into Graham. Returns it to Neville. Takes a touch inside. It's a heavy one. Where she's been tackled fairly by Jess Carter. 2 minutes to play here at Brisbane Road. Chelsea give it away. Ball inside by Ritten Carnred. Can't quite find Leupold. Now on the halfway line to Grace Clinton. Don't run into Cuthbert. Cuthbert runs into her and wins a free kick. And with less than 2 minutes to go from the halfway line, Spurs are just going to try and launch this into the box. Put the Chelsea defence under a little bit of pressure. As a goal for Spurs completely changes this title race. It's crazy how one goal could change so much for two teams this season. They're going to deliver this in. Vinberg with the cross. Into the box it goes. Header away, though, for Chelsea. Drops to the edge of the box to Kirby, who just toe pokes it away up to Lauren James. Kirby's continuing a run. Lauren James is holding it up, finding Niamh Charles instead, who's been tackled. It drops back to Lauren James, who... I'm not sure what she's given here, the referee. I think Lauren James has overran it. I think Emma Hayes wanted the free kick. She's not got it. And Spurs have a throw-in taken to Vinberg. Tackled, though, by Leupold and cleared by Charles. Not a great clearance, but it's been headed straight to Newskin. And out to the right to Ritting Carmrid. One more goal could really help them out in the title race, but Ritting Carmrid has overhit that ball massively. It will be kept in, though, by Fran Kirby. That's great running towards the byline. Fran Kirby delivers the ball in. It drops in the box with the header away, but he can't find Cuthbert. And Tottenham try and clear. Jess Carter with a late challenge there, and that will be a free kick and a yellow card. But Jess Carter will certainly take it. Slows down Tottenham's attack, and it might be them out of time to even get the equaliser in the end here. It's 1-1 between Manchester United and Newcastle. Anthony Gordon with the equaliser. Again, Tottenham are just going to try and launch this forward. They will probably be allowed to have this attack if they can get it forward quickly enough. Slammed forward by Suman, and it's a good ball, that actually. Carter heads away. Neville takes it off Ritting Carmrid. Neville has it for Tottenham. Back it goes to Graham. Tries to slip it back through for Neville. Deflects there off Cuthbert, and that will be that from the referee. Chelsea have done exactly what they needed to do. It wasn't the prettiest of performances, especially in the final third. But Chelsea have come out victorious in this game at Brisbane Road. It finishes Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1. A late goal in the first half scored by Hermano is the difference. And it is now in the hands of Chelsea on the final day on Saturday. A win with a margin that is better than Manchester City's. And they will be champions. They are top with a goal difference, which is 2 better than City. So they've got 2 goals to play with on Saturday if both teams win. Chelsea do have to travel to Old Trafford on Saturday, and they have to go and win. Because if they lose and City draw or win, then it's City's title. But as long as Chelsea match City's result, they will be champions. The only way that City can win the title with the same result as Chelsea is if the goal difference swings their way. So if Chelsea go to Old Trafford and win 1-0 again, they'll be better off by 3 goals on City. But if City go to Aston Villa and win 4-0, then City will go top. So it could definitely go both ways. But it's in Chelsea's hands. It's up to them now to win a 5th WSL title in a row. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But how the tables have turned within a week in the WSL. Manchester City throwing the title away, it seems, at home to Arsenal with those 2 late goals they conceded. And Chelsea took advantage. Battered Bristol 8-0 to get the goal difference back on their side, and then have just about got through tonight's fixture with a 1-0 win away at Tottenham. It's now 13 wins in 13 against Tottenham. A brilliant record against tonight's opposition. But that's going to be the end of tonight's live commentary. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Next 3 commentaries on the channel. Tomorrow we're covering Leeds against Norwich, the Championship semi-final playoff second leg. And then we've got 2 on Sunday, Crawley against Crewe in the League 2 playoff final. And then also another commentary on Sunday as we're doing the Premier League final day as Manchester City host West Ham to try and win their 4th Premier League title in a row. But if you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe. Notifications on so you know exactly when I am going live and what games I am covering. But here at Brisbane Road, Chelsea needed to win. They have done just that. They are level on points with Manchester City, but they're 2 better off on the goal difference. It's going to the final day. Can Chelsea do it? Can they win a 5th title in a row to see Emma Hayes out of Chelsea? We'll have to wait and see. But here at Brisbane Road, they've got the job done here tonight. It finishes Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1.